of the best sequels ever, ever. It's amazing.
Cannot wait. Well, the UK premiere is set to take place later today. We're joined now by a real-life Maverick.
Guy Snodgrass is celebrated as one of the most skilled fighter pilots in history, having served as a former US Navy commander. He joins us now live from Texas. We are very thrilled to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us, Guy.
Yeah, good morning. Great to be with you.
So you were inspired, as so many of us were, I mean, you went obviously quite a bit further, by watching that first movie. It encouraged a massive amount of that generation to enlist, to think about working with the Navy, in the Air Force. But that's what happened to you.
Absolutely. I was 10 years old when Top Gun came out back in 1986. I remember watching it with my parents on VHS and just getting really excited. I mean, watching the flight scenes, just the dynamic aspects of what it would be to be a naval aviator. And I remember thinking, even in that moment, saying, I want to be that when I grow up. And so I had a chance to live my dream.
I know, I was going to say, a lot of people thought like that when they watched the movie. Not many people made it happen. But at the age of 18, you joined the US Naval Academy. You ended up flying fighter planes for the US Navy, where you went on dozens of missions, an awful lot during the Iraq War.
That's right. So I had a chance to not only pursue my dream, but then work alongside some pretty amazing men and women for about a 20-year career in the United States Navy. As you mentioned, Operation Iraqi Freedom, had a chance to become a top gun instructor myself, commanded a fighter squadron that was stationed in Japan, and working with a lot of allies and partners around the world. So when you bundle all that up into a 20-year career, it'd be hard to ask for more.
Well, you'll be enormously quiet, I would have thought, and reserved about the fact that you are one of America's most decorated heroes. And so when you got into... Is it Top Gun? Is it called Top Gun? Is there an academy? Is there competition? Who can be the best of the best?
Yeah, like with all things with Hollywood, there's always elements of the truth. There is a real Top Gun school. It was founded in Miramar, California, back in the late 1960s during the height of the Vietnam War. It's called the U.S. Navy Fighter Weapons School, and colloquially, we know it as Top Gun. That's where, there's a lot of professionalism, a lot of pride that goes into being part of that institution and part of that training staff. But there is no competition, as you see in the movie, in the original movie. There's no point system. Every instructor is looking to make each and every student as good as they can possibly be. You want to help them unlock their full potential as a fighter pilot, and that's what the school's all about.
And you all have, I mean, as in the movie, all of the pilots have their own call sign. So obviously in the movie you had Maverick and you had Goose and things like that. You have yours, and what is that, and where did you get it from?
Sure. So my call sign is Bus, as in a school bus. And I received it because when I first showed up in my fighter squadron, it was during the height of American football. There was a team called the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they had a running back named Jerome Bettis, just a huge, giant athlete. And I like to joke that I got the call sign Bus because, hey, if you needed to score a touchdown, they're going to hand me the ball, I'm going to punch it in. But the reality was my squadron mate said, no, we called you Bus because when you look at this just specimen of what a man should be, you're this thin, white guy, not quite the same. So it was one of those kind of ironic call signs.
One of the things that you get in both movies is the essential role of the wingman. And you say that you actually have had to be rescued, possibly saved by, in various conflicts, your wingman. You also say fly alone, die alone. That's
right. So I've been really honored throughout my career. I've had a chance to author 2 books. My second book, Top Gun's Top 10, there's a whole chapter dedicated to the importance of always having a wingman. I've been over the skies of Iraq where I nearly had a mid-air collision, and only because my wingman was able to spot the other aircraft in time, saved my life. Same thing. Most of my career was spent flying and launching and recovering on the deck of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, and so you have certain emergencies that arise then. And you're trying to handle all these things, all the systems in the aircraft just by yourself. And so having a wingman there, someone who can watch your 6 o'clock, who has your back, is incredibly important. And I relay in the book, of course, it's not just in the military culture, it's in your daily life, it's in your business as well. So having someone there, having that team around you is so important.
We've got ours. We're each other's.
You need it. You really do. Tom Cruise's character, Maverick, was quite sort of reckless, and he was young, and he would take chances, I guess, and obviously that paid off well for him. In reality, do those types of characters make for the best pilots?
You know, there's always a great mix, and I think that's the reality with any team, right? You have those who are more cerebral and maybe quiet. You have those who are incredibly loud and outspoken. I've watched a number of pilots who come through the system who were a little bit like Maverick, very brash, very headstrong when they were junior, and then suddenly, you know, you watch that growth as they progress throughout their career. They become much more humble, very professional, and sometimes they can turn out to be some of the very best, not only fighter pilots, but also leaders, people that you want to follow because they've had kind of that full spectrum of experiences. And I think that's what really makes a great leader, someone who has lived a lot, they've seen a lot of what life has to offer and what you can experience in the cockpit, and then they can make that relatable for those around them.
And however, during their training, if they quote the movie, they're fined.
Yes, that is actually one of the things I enjoyed the most about being an actual Top Gun instructor. We have a fine system, and so if you are caught quoting any of the lines from the 1986 movie, then you're automatically fined $5 on the spot. You've got to break out your wallet and pay the fine because they're not going to let you off the hook. But that's just one of the ways we want to make sure we emphasize professionalism. Oh, it could be any quote, yeah. I mean, anything from the movie. In fact, we never even call it Top Gun the movie. We just say a certain movie from 1986.
Oh, you must be looking forward to seeing the new one, though.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, several of the pilots I had in Japan with me went on to follow in my footsteps. They themselves became Top Gun instructors. They helped during the production of the movie. So they are over the moon. They're thrilled with how it turned out. I know some of my friends who saw an early screening in San Diego that they did for the U.S. Navy, loved it as well. So can't wait to take my family and my own children. I mean, it inspired me as a child to want to grow up to be a fighter pilot, and I hope it does the same for my kids.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good to talk to you.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you so much. And you are going to love the film.
Great to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.